Hey everyone, and welcome back to Controller Culture, where we break down the games that shape the way we play. Today, we're diving deep into Hades 2, Supergiant's highly anticipated sequel to one of the best indie games of the last decade. Supergiant Games has always had a reputation for punching above their weight. With Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre, they proved they could tell stories in bold and beautiful ways. But Hades was their crowning achievement, a roguelike that transcended its genre and reached a massive audience. It won Game of the Year awards, dominated discussions, and became the standard against which all modern roguelikes are measured. So, when Supergiant announced Hades 2, expectations were sky high. After all, this was their first direct sequel. Could they capture lightning in a bottle twice? Could they avoid simply making Hades 1.5? Well, now that the game has officially launched in full after a year of early access, I've put dozens of hours into it, and I've gotta say, Hades 2 isn't trying to reinvent the wheel. Instead, it refines, expands, and polishes nearly every system from the first game. And in the process, it creates something that's familiar but still fresh enough to stand on its own. The first Hades had a simple but compelling promise. Zagreus, son of Hades, was determined to escape the underworld, and nothing, not even death, would stop him. That story was carried by razor-sharp dialogue, brilliant performances, and a gradual drip feed of lore that pulled players deeper into Greek mythology. In Hades 2, the promise is darker and more urgent. You play as Melinoe, Zagreus' sister, who sets out on a mission of revenge against Kronos, the Titan of Time. Kronos has risen to power, imprisoned Hades himself, and thrown the Pantheon into chaos. Unlike Zagreus, who was more rebellious than vengeful, Melinoe carries a heavy sense of duty and determination, which sets the tone for the game right from the start. What makes Supergiant special is how they tell their stories. It's not in hour-long cutscenes or endless exposition dumps. It's in the little conversations you have at your home base. The snappy exchanges with gods and allies, the playable memories and flashbacks that gradually fill in the blanks. They've mastered this technique since Bastion, and honestly, it still works wonders. If you've played Hades, the basic structure will feel instantly familiar. Runs start at your hub area, where you can chat with allies, unlock upgrades, and prepare for another attempt. From there, you dive into 4 main zones, each filled with randomly generated rooms, combat encounters, and choices between doors that lead to boons, resources, or healing. Each zone culminates in a boss fight, and if you're good enough, you'll eventually reach Kronos himself. But here's the twist. There's more than just one path. While the underworld journey forms the backbone of the game, Melinoe can also ascend to the surface world, which offers 4 entirely new zones of its own. The catch: the surface is far more dangerous, with harsher enemies and mechanics that push you to adapt quickly. And first, you'll literally die just by being there, but as you progress, you'll unlock ways to survive longer. This dual path structure effectively doubles the content compared to the first game, and it creates a smoother difficulty curve. The underworld feels slightly easier than it did in Hades 1, but that's by design. It eases you in before hitting you with the surface's brutality. Together, the 2 parts balance accessibility with challenge, making progression feel rewarding, no matter which direction you take. One of the smartest refinements in Hades 2 is the new Arcana system. Think of it as a deck of tarot-like cards that grant powerful bonuses, from extra lives to faster mana regeneration. You can only equip a limited number at a time, which forces you to make interesting choices. Do you go for survivability with Death Defiance, or do you stack offensive power at the cost of defense? Compared to the flat percentage upgrades in the first game, Arcana feels so much more meaningful. Every unlock opens up a new strategy, and as you progress, you increase your capacity to equip more cards, leading to some wild combinations. On top of that, Hades 2 keeps the same drip feed of rewards that made the first game so addictive. Even if you fail a run, you'll bring back resources, unlock new dialogue, or gain access to another system back at the Crossroads hub. You're never really wasting your time, which is crucial in a roguelike. Malinaway doesn't just play like a Zagreus reskin. Her combat style changes the flow of the game. Alongside her standard special attacks, she has access to a mana-based system that powers mega attacks and devastating ultimate abilities. She can also cast spells, such as a slowing circle that can turn the tide of a fight when used strategically. This makes combat feel more deliberate. Where Zagreus was often a fast melee-focused brawler, Malinaway encourages a slightly slower, more tactical playstyle. 4 of the 6 available weapons lean toward ranged combat, letting you control the battlefield from a distance. But don't worry, close-range weapons are still present for players who prefer that style. The variety of builds here is incredible. With the right combination of weapons, arcana and boons from the gods, you can craft playstyles that feel completely unique, like a rapid-fire caster spamming area denial zones, or a high-risk, high-reward brawler with limited mana but absurd melee damage. Boss fights are always a major test in roguelikes, and Hades 2 nails them. Every encounter feels fair but challenging, with unique mechanics that keep things fresh. Unlike Hades, where the Theseus and Minotaur fight was wildly dreaded, there's no boss here that feels like a chore. A standout is Skylar, the second zone boss on the surface, who battles you with a band behind her. A guitarist and a drummer whose rhythms change the fight dynamically. It's creative, chaotic, and pure Supergiant flair. The zones themselves also push the series forward. Some areas are wider and more open, breaking up the claustrophobic feel of dungeon chambers. Others introduce non-linear progression, giving you more freedom to choose your path. While the formula is still mostly pick a door, fight enemies, get an upgrade. These tweaks go a long way in keeping runs engaging. Supergiant has always been known for its art direction, and Hades 2 somehow raises the bar again. Character designs are lush with detail, environments are dripping with atmosphere, and the music blends seamlessly with combat to keep the energy high. The polish here is remarkable. You can tell the success of the first Hades gave the team more resources to work with, and they used them wisely. The voice acting and writing also shine. The humor hits just as often as the emotional beats, and the pantheon of gods once again manages to feel both larger than life and deeply personal. Here's where we need to talk about expectations. Hades 2 is not a revolution. It doesn't reinvent the roguelike genre, and it doesn't throw out the formula of the first game. Instead, it doubles down on it, smooths out the rough edges, and delivers more of what worked. For fans who wanted Supergiant to pivot to something radically different, as they did between Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre, this might be a little disappointing. But for players who adored Hades and just wanted this game, is exactly that. More better and sharper. At the end of the day, Hades 2 is one of the safest sequels I've played, but also one of the most satisfying. It takes a formula that was already near perfect and stretches it out, adding depth, variety, and style without ever losing sight of what made the first game so special. Is it as groundbreaking as Hades? Probably not. But is it one of the best roguelikes you can play right now? Absolutely. So for us here at Controller Culture, we're going to give this a 9 out of 10. And instead of saying it's reinventing the wheel but perfecting it, I'd like to put it like this. Hades 2 doesn't rewrite the rules. It sharpens the blade. And what you're left with is one of the sharpest, deadliest sequels in recent memory. We here at Controller Culture just wanted to thank you for all the support that you've shown us in the last couple of months. I find it funny how this all started from a conversation we had on the couch whilst playing Tekken, and transformed into something that we are truly passionate about. We hope that you will continue to support us for the many years to come. And as always, keep playing the games that shape the way we play. This has been Controller Culture, and we'll see you all next time.